me start from the very obvious. Who will lead this coalition? Let's not beat around the bush. Who will lead this coalition? Again, like I said, I'm starting from the very obvious. The person with the national appeal, the person with the cleanest record, the person with the biggest followership is Peter Obi. That's why I said let's start from the very obvious. I don't want to beat around this conversation about this ADC, coalition. The question is what is at the back of our minds with the coalition. Even if they go for a convention, will the coalition allow the very obvious be who leads the party into 2027? Is it possible that Atiku Abubakar can take a backstage and say, I've done my time? When 2027 comes, it will be 80 years old. Bola Tinubu will be about the same age officially. Are we saying that? Is it possible that we can come to the point where we can imagine that Atiku Abubakar is taking a backseat role and telling the world, as long as my ambition has always been about Nigeria, I'm going to step down so that somebody else who is younger, who's got the strength, can lead the country? Is that what you're also thinking? Or are you saying, or are you thinking strategically and thinking, if they go for a convention again, what happened in 2023 where Obi had to run away from the PDP, knowing the fact that the convention was not going to be free and fair? He had to, defect to another political party and run under the Labour Party. Do you think that's also a possibility? Because the easiest thing for this coalition to do to win 2027 is to coalesce behind Peter Obi. It's as simple as that. Peter Obi has the national appeal. Peter Obi has the acceptance. Peter Obi has the best record of all these known faces who want to contest for 2027. So are we literally going to say to our politicians, apples for apples, Peter Obi at this particular moment is better than Atiku Abubakar? Apples for apples, Peter Obi at this particular moment is better than El Rufai. El Rufai does not have any standing when it comes to Nigerians wanting to vote for, at least not even in the South. Neither is Rotimi Amechi. First of all, it's not even a thing to think that Rotimi will be our president in Nigeria anyway. So let's just write that off, So are we really going to, look at the country right now and say, how do you defeat Bola Tinubu? These African Democratic Congress, ADC, that this coalition is now coalescing under, would they let the very obvious be? And then they can then say to Peter Obi, let's look for somebody who has a national appeal as well, or especially in the North. Will that be Kwakwanso? Because remember, APC has already been playing this game anyway. APC has already been trying to poach Kwakwanso because they need the North, and they need Kano especially. They need an NMPP. So, is it NMPP? Yes, Kwankwaso, yeah. So, is that what you think? Who's going to lead this coalition? Because if I put the people on front, it will be Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, head for head. Those two people, But Peter Obi has the age, has the appeal, has the national desire, and the people want, especially young people. The Obidient movement is forcefully, beyond Peter Obi. So any idea of Peter Obi trying to say he wants to be a vice president literally tells all our Nigerians and Obidient saying they just wasted their time. So now, this brings us to the next question. This coalition, this ADC, does it have a chance against Bola Tinubu in 2027? The game is changing already. We wanted a new political party created. INEC was a problem. Now they've coalesced under the ADC. Can this political party defeat APC in 2027? Now, don't forget, there's still PDP. Now, if Peter Obi is going to be running under the ADC, assuming he's picked as their Flagbearer, Labour Party goes back into oblivion, completely goes back into oblivion. So the question now is, we have a 3-horse race. We have the APC, ADC, and we have PDP. APC has 20 or something states, PDP has the remaining, and APC has the presidency. ADC's got nothing. But now what ADC has not got that Peter Obi didn't get in 2023 is that it's got the backing of a lot more people where they can really rally around, get offices across the entire nation, get people's offices that would do the work for them, and form a serious challenge against the APC in 2027. But the big question as well is, Nigerians, do you believe in this ADC? Because we have the same old recycled politicians who helped to destroy Nigeria and brought Nigeria to this level of destruction and rot. So Nigerians, the question is, do you really trust this political party, ADC, considering the fact that the people who are now forming this coalition are one-time PDP who did not build Nigeria to where Nigeria should be? But if you look at the policies of the ADC, our policies are about the same thing, but they've always wanted. For example, you look at areas where APC has failed. APC has failed Nigerians a whole lot of area, under Bola Tinubu especially. We've seen inflation, unemployment, and insecurity, and our Nigerian currency just collapsed under this particular politician, Bola Tinubu and the APC. Nigerians are hungry, they are angry, they are fed up. Nigerians just want a change. But in going for this change, we're not just changing power and giving it to somebody else. Now, the next one would then be, if you look at ADC, for example, their records are there straight. ADC has never had any serious national office like the presidency before, so they're clean. Unlike the APC or the PDP, they have no baggage of national level or corruption on top of misrule. So coalition under this political party is like a fresh breath. But the people that are actually doing the coalition is where there's a problem. But on a broad-based coalition, gathering, the key thing there, they're saying no single political party, not PDP, not NNPP or LP coming together have the majority say, but just forming. But when you look at, more like a youth-led movement, would they be able to now say, let's bring in Nigerians? Because they've been talking about making sure that this coalition is about Nigeria, not about the politicians themselves. Because in 2023, it was the young people that came out en masse to vote for Peter Obi. And those young people are on standby. I'm only just looking at this, categorically and asking the same question, how we can make 2027 a referendum on Bola Tinubu on the APC, how Nigerians can galvanize to stop them from stealing and rigging elections across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, how we can work as a people to make sure that we can use 2027 as a groundbreaking period for Nigeria to be free from the claws and the shackles of corrupt politicians. And we can then start to birth the kind of Nigeria that we want. What do you think about that? Because when you look at ADC's policies proposals, they're all formed around the constitutional reform, decentralization of government power from the federal all the way down to the local government. They're talking about job creation, industrialization, and also they look at anti-corruption. But the question is, that we've seen our politicians, when they get into power, they've always talked about decentralization of power, but they never get to do that. They never get to the point where they can say, let's do constitutional reform. We need a new constitution. We need a new referendum to get a new constitution, get all the people together and make sure we build a constitution that will be formed in the image of Nigerians, not of politicians. And then we can devolve power to the state so that the federal government will not be pushing people or states to join their political party, and if they don't, they call a state of emergency and seize power. So what do you think? These are some of the things we'll be talking about later. We will talk about electoral reform, we'll talk about voters, we'll talk about, devolvement of power from the central to the state and to the local government. We'll talk about a lot of stuff, but at this particular point in time, I just want you to put in the comment section what you think about this coalition. If you think that the very obvious will be that Peter Obi will be the flag bearer, and why you think he might not be the flag bearer, and why you think he might be rigged out, in 2020 for the 2027 election as they go for the convention. Is that what you think? But the polity in Nigeria is buzzing. So I want us to be part of that buzzing as well. As always, I'll catch up in the next video, but don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and also recommend this channel to others. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.